So this course has to do with logic, which is a word we're all familiar with, but let's think about the meaning of that word, logic. I'm going to give you a little quiz here, okay? Just a little quiz. Sorry. If I make a certain statement like this, let me ask you, is that a logical thing to say? I think that, our first response to that would be, no, it's not logical, because he really is president. But I think that if we're thinking about the logic of something, that we have to make a distinction between the logic of something and the truth of something. What's up there right now on the screen is a falsehood. It's not true. Obama is really president, and he has been for the past 6 years. It is completely the idea of logic doesn't really apply to it because it's simply a statement, or what our author Deborah Bennett calls a proposition. Somebody may propose that Obama is not really president, and that proposition or that statement or that assertion, it can be true or false. That is, in this case, it happens to be false, but in a way it can't be logical. Say I expand this a little bit. Obama is not really president. Whoops. What if I have two statements, or two propositions, or two assertions? Obama's not really president, and you need to be president to get ice cream. Now, from these two statements, we can draw a conclusion. We can infer something, and that is that Obama won't get ice cream. This is a silly little argument, but it's perfectly valid. It is a perfectly, we're being perfectly logical, let's say here. That is, what we have at the top are our premises. That is, the assumptions that we begin with, sort of start our argument off. Obama's not really president, and you need to be president to get ice cream. From those premises, in fact, a conclusion does follow, and that is that Obama won't get ice cream because, well, you need to be president to get ice cream. Now, of course, our premises are, well, the first of our premises is simply false, and I guess the second one is too. But our conclusion, Obama won't get ice cream, is perfectly logical, or one might say is logically valid, given our premises. That is, logic is not directly about whether or not a statement is true. Logic is about how statements relate to each other. So, we go back to the question of what logic is. Yes, logic is about inference. An inference is a decision that you and I make. That one thing follows if another thing is true. That if something is the case, that something else is the case too. If indeed it is true that Obama is not really president, and if indeed it is true that you need to be president to get ice cream, then it must be true that Obama won't get ice cream. So logic is not about, normally speaking, is not about whether statements are true or false. Logic is about how statements relate to each other. And you might say that logic is about what can be inferred from what. Again, if one thing is true, what follows from that? What is the case if that thing is true?